Hi everyone, Harry here to talk about Donald Trump's 50-page screed, or you could say complaint, a civil lawsuit that he has filed against Michael Cohen in the Southern District of Florida. First, I've suggested before that for all his vaunted ability to wriggle out of trouble, Trump is neither much of a strategic thinker and his playbook is very thin. So here is a page from the thin playbook. Sue in the Southern District of Florida. That's his favorite home base, new home base. Used to be, of course, New York City, where he boasted he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. Now, New York has become quite the hostile territory for him. In fact, he is returning to there just today to give another deposition in the Attorney General's huge lawsuit against him. Not the Bragg case, but a whole case by the Attorney General. But I digress. He has filed this big lawsuit against Michael Cohen in the Southern District of Florida, something like he did in the whole debacle with Judge Eileen Cannon, his appointee, who gave him a short respite before she was completely rebuked. So the lawsuit just basically is a scandal sheet about every alleged sin, and it reads like just an attempt to completely disparage the credibility of Michael Cohen. So it goes through, it's what he would love to stand up and have read to the jury, say, after Cohen testifies in the Bragg case, but doesn't work that way. There are ways to try to actually impeach Michael Cohen when that time comes. And in fact, I have an op-ed about it in the LA Times today, if you want to check it out. Quick aside is subscribers to our Patreon site get, in addition to a lot of content, my op-eds without having to subscribe to the Times. You just get them in PDF form. But the 50 pages just alleges that Cohen has breached his fiduciary duty to Trump, has been unjustly enriched, goes through what is in fact a, roughly speaking, accurate story of complete betrayal of a former loyal soldier. So he goes through all the, statements from the earlier incarnation of Michael Cohen. I would take a bullet for Mr. Trump, and including statements where he says, again and again, Trump did nothing wrong, and we're paying off Stormy just for Melania and all that stuff. And then everything he has done since, including having a podcast with well-known Trump haters like Norm Eisen and, other of the pundits. Now, here's the thing. There is a doctrine. We're getting a little lawyerly, but people haven't noticed this yet, and I think it's a really big point. There's a doctrine that the federal courts have that say you're not supposed to get involved with, muck around with pending state criminal proceedings. You should, if you get a case that concerns them, you should abstain, is the legal term, put it on ice until after the state proceedings have run their course, and then you can think about it, because otherwise you create, this is exactly what Trump wants to do. He wants to get findings here that say Cohen did this and that, and use them for what the legal term would be estoppel. Be able to introduce them in the Bragg case and say, see, a court already has found that Cohen said this. A court already has found that Cohen was disloyal. A court already has found that Cohen was unjustly enriched. But that's exactly what you're not supposed to do. It's kind of a similar idea as that makes all of Jim Jordan's saber rattling improper. The federal government is not supposed to go mucking around in state criminal proceedings. Maybe after they're done, you can try to challenge them in some collateral or side way. But this is, he's trying to directly attack in his favorite home base rather than, as he's supposed to, in the actual proceeding now pending in Manhattan. So I think the first thing out of the box that you're gonna hear from Michael Cohen, the lawsuit is styled Trump versus Cohen. Bragg is not a party there, but everything about the criminal charges, hover over it. And I think you'll see Michael Cohen come in and say, "Okay, court, you should abstain for now. I'm not going to even try to defend these things, all of which I deny, but your right move is to just put it on ice for the time being." That really is what should happen. Generally speaking, Trump's repeated efforts to go elsewhere to try to pull out the rug from under inconvenient or dangerous proceedings for him, it's just not the way the legal system is designed to work. And there really ought to be, a stop to it generally. So we'll see what happens in this case. He asked for, I think, $500 million in damages, but it's really all about trying to change the narrative in the Manhattan criminal indictment that he, is now coming at him like I would say like a freight train, but I'll say a slow freight train because we've talked about the timing of that, where it's going to be, the fall until there are motions to dismiss and maybe up to a year until there's a trial. But in any event, Bragg is now in the driver's seat. This is an attempt to sort of dislodge him from that. And the courts really, one way or another, should not let it happen. We'll see what Judge Trump is able to draw in his favored home district, and if that judge has the good sense to not be lured into mucking with the pending proceedings in Manhattan. But we saw the misadventure that happened with Judge Eileen Cannon, who was really bidding strongly for title of worst judge of the year. That now Matthew Kacsmaryk. Another little digression here, but the Texas abortion opinion now is giving her big competition. But two Trump partisan judges who are really have warped the law. Hopefully, they will be straightened out by higher courts. Eileen Cannon was. Okay, so a completely separate lawsuit filed in the Southern District of Florida, that is in federal court, trying to dirty up Cohen however he can and get findings to use in Manhattan. Will it work? It shouldn't, but you can't say for sure, and we'll be watching hard to see what judge he draws and what Michael Cohen, not Alvin Bragg, but Michael Cohen, who's the defendant here, says in response to the lawsuit. So well worth following, and I'll be doing it. Until then, talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.